Hello, my name's Michael Alexander, and thank you for inviting me to jump on this call. I'm going to just share briefly my background because I'm on my way out, but this opportunity was brought to me by some friends of mine a while back, about a year and a half ago, and they had tried to sit down and talk to me much further back than that, over 3 years ago when it kind of all began. But at the time, I wasn't open, I wasn't interested. When they mentioned Bitcoin mining, I was a skeptic. I didn't know what I didn't know and just wasn't willing to even stop and listen. Big mistake. You'll understand why in just a moment. But when I saw how successful they were with Bitcoin mining and how many lives they had touched and how many lives they had changed, when they sat down and talked to me about a year and a half ago, I did listen. And I am so glad that I did. And the reason for that is it has just been the best experience of my life. You know, for those of you that may not know much about Bitcoin, you really owe it to yourselves and your family to take a serious look. And the best way to get involved with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, or you hear talk about digital currency, is really Bitcoin mining, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But when they sat down and began explaining to me, and I saw the success that they demonstrated, not only they were having, but everyone else that had gotten involved was having, I decided to invest myself into Bitcoin mining, because that provided me a passive residual income. Very small investment, and very unique to BitClub Network is perpetual income, passive residual income for the rest of my life, and actually way beyond after I pass away. I can leave it to whomever I want. And until the last Bitcoin is mined in the year 2140, that's daily Bitcoin rewards, automatic. And when I looked at the returns that they were getting, it was amazing. As a matter of fact, today, for roughly, based on the price of Bitcoin today, a person can get a Bitcoin mining share for less than 2 Bitcoin. And in just 12 months, generate from the Bitcoin mining more than the 2 Bitcoins it costs to even get involved. And then, because they're automatically repurchasing every single day as you're earning Bitcoin mining rewards, by the time you get to the end of your first year, you've not only got your Bitcoin back plus a nice profit, plus whatever increase in value we're going to see in the coming 12 months and in the months and years ahead, but actually you've now acquired an additional mining contract, meaning that in year 2 you're making roughly twice as much Bitcoin as you're buying yet another contract. So as each year goes by, we're actually earning more and more Bitcoin. The way that it was explained to me, very simple, is this. If I went out and bought any number of Bitcoin, but since I mentioned 2, let's say I bought 2 Bitcoin. At the end of year 1, 2 Bitcoin is all I'm going to have if I just bought it and held on to it, like buying gold. But with Bitcoin mining, I'm going to have more than 2 Bitcoin, and by the end of year 2, because I'm earning even more Bitcoin in year 2, I'm going to be sitting with approximately 9 to 10 Bitcoin after 2 years. Well, it obviously doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that 9 to 10 Bitcoin in 2 years is way better than just hanging on to 2 Bitcoin if you chose to only buy. And so I got involved. Originally, I thought just passive residual income is all I was interested in. I wasn't looking for a project. But what I found is when I started earning this money daily, automatically, and I mentioned to other successful people, they too wanted to get involved in Bitcoin mining because there is an opportunity attached if you're willing to not keep it a secret, but just share with other people, allow them to do their own due diligence, allow them to educate themselves, because once they do, they will surely get involved with Bitcoin mining, and that can generate for each and every one of us additional Bitcoin. And I've literally seen such an increase in business. I started focusing on the business on a part-time basis a little over a year ago. And in less than a year, my income was substantial. I had people in my group that were earning hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin every single month. And the best part, in the last 12 months, the Bitcoin that I earned has gone up in value by more than 4 times based on what it was selling last year versus what it's selling for right now. In fact, since the first of this year, we've seen the price of Bitcoin literally double. And so now's the opportune time. If you've not taken it seriously before now, now's the time to really take it serious, because this is creating so many millionaires and multimillionaires, even billionaires. And when you think about Bitcoin, for those of you that may not know anything or not much about Bitcoin, it's digital money. It's digital cash. What I tell people is, look, if you understand what email is, it's a digital letter. Email has done to paper email or the post office, what Bitcoin is doing to paper money. Same thing with digital photography. Not that many years ago, we were taking pictures the old-fashioned way, and Kodak was making a lot of money. But look at digital photography today. It's changed everything. In fact, our entire world today is really digital. Why shouldn't our money be digital as well? In fact, when you go back in time, not that many years ago, you go back 1,000 years ago, we were buying and selling and trading in gold and silver. It literally took the governments over 400 years to convince people to use paper money for it to become mainstream. More recently in our generation, we've seen the introduction of credit cards, and it took over 50 years for credit cards to become mainstream. I remember traveling just 20 plus years ago, finding it difficult to use my credit cards, whereas today most everyone takes credit cards. Well, the adoption of Bitcoin and digital currency, cryptocurrency, has accelerated even beyond. In fact, the projections are that within less than 15 years, digital money, Bitcoin in particular, will become mainstream. And we're already over 8.5 years, coming up on 9 years. So we're not that far away. So if you haven't gotten involved with Bitcoin yet, take advantage and get involved now. You will be glad you did. Hey, I mentioned I've got to run. I've got an appointment I've got to get to, but would love to connect later and share more information with you with regards to the difference between cryptocurrency, digital currency, distributed networks, blockchain technology, and so forth, because this is such an exciting time that we're living in, and take advantage of the opportunity that's being shared with you. Bye for now.